Dear diary, today I will be talking about 5 perfumes for the hot weather. The first one is Versace Crystal Noir. This was once very hyped in early 2015, 16, 17, 18, and somehow 2020 people don't really talk about this anymore. But for me, this is a top pick for hot weather, especially in countries like mine, like Malaysia. It's totally summer all the time, and this is a perfume that is focused on gardenia and coconut. When I smell it from the bottle, it really has that lactonic coconut vibe, but it's not like coconut drink or coconut flesh. This is not totally coconut. This is a blend of coconut with gardenia. Instead of saying that this is like a coconutty perfume, I would say that this is a gardenia with some coconut vibe. Yeah. So other than the gardenia, which is the heart of this fragrance, there is some cardamom bite to it. I seldom see cardamom in designer fragrance for women, and this is a really outstanding one from the Versace line, because there is no really common note in this one. There is a very interesting mix of notes in this one, which includes ginger and cardamom in the top, and I definitely get that bite of that cardamom and a little tiny bit of ginger, and straight into the mid you have this gardenia and coconut, and also some orange blossom, which is listed, but I don't think orange blossom is really that prominent in here. And as it dries down, it is still very lactonic and milky, but with some musk and sandalwood. Lovely performance in the hot weather. It doesn't just dissipate in no time, but it just lingers around, and most importantly, it won't cause a headache, at least for me. So the next one is, in the 4th place is Signorina Misteriosa by Salvatore Ferragamo. I am not a big fan of this line, especially the Signorina line, but I would say this caught me by surprise. I remember when I first wore it, it was a date night with my then boyfriend, now husband, to a restaurant which I rarely go to, and now I don't go to. That was the only time I went there, and I put on this perfume, and it lasted a whole night. So this perfume, we're talking about wearing this in the hot weather. So this is blackberry and vanilla and tuberose and a little tiny bit of patchouli as it dries down on me. What amazes me is that I am not a huge fan of these fruity notes, to be honest, but this fragrance this little black guy has this magic to retain the blackberry, but without making it too jammy or too sharp or too tart. The blackberry retained throughout the whole wearing of this perfume, and it lasted the whole day on me today, because I wore it today and it was a very hot day. And together with the blackberry, what I get is the very prominent note of this mousse note, some kind of like, it's not vanilla, totally vanilla blend vanilla. It definitely has this mousse kind of structure, almost like you whisk the vanilla until it becomes mousse-like and you put on top of the cake. But this cake don't really have a very strong vanilla base scent. It's more like vanilla in the air, and the blackberry, it's always there. And the longer I wear it, the more I can enjoy it, because it doesn't get cloying, or it doesn't get thicker. I would say that as it dries down, this blackberry just lingers around just fine, like you just have this blackberry flavored air around you. And I was sweating. This morning I was just sweating a lot, and I could still smell it. Sometimes a fragrance can make you feel sticky if you're sweating, but this one doesn't really. This just makes me feel like, oh, there is some kind of fresh, juicy fruitiness in me when I'm sweating. So I know it sounds disgusting, but it's not. It's really enjoyable. This is definitely a pleasant, fruity experience in the hot day. Next up, we have Ferragamo by Salvatore Ferragamo for women. This is a fruity vanilla perfume, and as soon as I smelled it, I know that it's gonna be a mass appealing perfume. And as soon as I smelled it, also I got a very similar note that I could detect, and it is very similar to the one by Lolita Limpica. It's Lolita Land. So this is, I think this comes later than Lolita Land. I'm not certain, at least it comes later to my collection than Lolita Land. And this actually shares the same note of Campari to the one in Lolita Land, which also has the note of Campari. But unfortunately, I don't know what is Campari, so I'm not going to delve into that. But this to me smells like a very orangey vanilla. Yeah. The orange in here is not like the orange fruit, nor the peel, nor anything that has to do with the natural fruit. It actually smells like the orange that has been added extra sugar, extra cream or whatever to make orange vanilla ice cream. Yeah, it's a very, very simple fragrance, nothing complicated, nothing complex about it, and it is a dumb read. If I just want to feel good, if I just want to put on something to smell good, then I just spray this one on. But on a more positive note, this one really lasts. I mean, even when during the hot day when I'm sweating a lot, I could still catch whiffs of it now and then. Yeah, not much to talk about this one. It's already been talked about a lot in the community. There is also a rhubarb note listed. I don't always get that sour tart rhubarb note from here, but sometimes I do get a little bit freshness out of here. So that's right in the middle. Okay, so now let's move on to the higher rank. Now, moving on to the second top pick, which is Mon Galant. This one is the Eau de Parfum Floral. Actually, the more I wear it, the more I like it. I mean, at first, I don't really get much from this. It's like a vanillic lavender blend, but with more kick of the with more kick of the lavender. But you know, one day I just put this on, and it's a perfect day for this perfume. I don't know why, because I just can enjoy whiffs of this beautiful, a bit powdery lavender-based vanilla scent. Just carries with the wind. I think the magic of this perfume really lies with how balanced the lavender, not the aromatherapy kind of lavender, you know, it's a very galant lavender. That lavender has a little bit of sweetness, and I think I can almost get a little bit of ylang ylang in here, making it more aromatic, and add together with that iris, the vanilla, and the sandalwood. And after a few times of wearing, I really start to realize that sometimes the scent only shows its true beauty after several times of wearing. It doesn't just reveal her real inner beauty to you in the first wearing. And during the first wearing, I couldn't get much of it, you know, like I could definitely get the lavender and the bergamot and some not really obvious floral notes. But the more I wear it, I start to realize that my nose become quite sensitive to it, and I could pick up more notes like ylang ylang and the iris and the sandalwood. So at last I come to the conclusion, if you're looking for a lavender, vanilla, floral perfume, then there's no other than this one. So I would say that if Mon Galant is a pretty girl, then Mon Galant Eau de Parfum Floral would be a pretty girl who dares to wear purple shoes with purple nail color and still being able to look very elegant and attractive and beautiful. You know, not just be a pretty girl, but a pretty girl, beautiful girl with more personality. Yeah, so this is my second one. To the final pick, the number one spot for the hot weather is Roberto Cavalli Eau de Parfum, Roberto Cavalli. So this is a very underrated gem. Like, I don't find a lot of reviews about this, but this is a very special take on vanilla and amber, because this is not really that sweet. It is even not that sweet as the Mont Galant de Parfum Floral, because sometimes I can get sick over all these sweet perfumes, so I tend to seek out more like a floral kind of perfume. But this one is not like a white floral. This is Orange Blossom. What makes me like this perfume this much is that this is not like a bouquet, not like a wedding, not like a beachy kind of white floral. This is Orange Blossom that blooms in the heat, but unlike the Le Parfum Elisa way, that is very grand, very elegant, almost formal. But this has a little fun side to it. This has a little bit edginess and sensuality and extravagance. All of this wonderful quality is presented in a fun way, because this has amber and benzoin in the bottom. Yeah, and together with the benzoin and tonka bean and the vanilla, no, it sounds like a regular perfume, but this is actually not as sweet as regular perfume. That is one plus positive point for me. It is not as sweet, and I think this one really it downplays the note of all this sugary sweetness, and it pushed the orange flower together with the benzoin-y, almost amber-like solar note in here, up a notch. In the heat, this just dances very beautifully. This benzoin just shines beautifully. This just reminds me of a very pretty, a very self-restrained ballet dancer who always performs and dances to the classical song, to the piano. And this time, this ballet dancer just gets the chance, just dance wildly, to just dance to her own happiness, and to just dance to the song that is played in her heart. Imagine that it is not as sweet because this ballet dancer is very self-restrained, but this ambery African orange flower just blooms like the ballet dancer just gets to dances her heart out really, and just waves her hands, waves her arm, just swing around, just letting all her energy out. But again, not without proper training. A ballet dancer can't do this. So this just reminds of me of that. Yeah. I'm just really sad that this doesn't get much attention in the community, because this is not a new perfume. This has already been launched in 2012. You can find it, go try it. This is a ballet dancing orange flower who dances to her own heart, to her own music. That's the end of my diary and my ramble today. So if you are keen to hear more from me, don't forget to subscribe and click the like button if you like. So see you in the next one. Bye.